Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be doing an in-depth breakdown of everything we know so far and everything we've seen via the few screenshots and information Rockstar's provided on the Newswire about the upcoming Grand Theft Auto Online DLC, which is going to be called Bikers. That's right, so although you might have seen the Newswire and said there's not a whole lot of information here, if we dig deeper and look closely, there's actually a ton of information we can see that points to a lot of content, a lot of new content that's going to be arriving in this update. So we're going to be starting with the pictures first, and then we'll be moving to some of the text that Rockstar stated on the Newswire. And as always, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out any more of this information for yourself. But of course, without the way, let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. All right, so naturally, we're going to be starting with this photo right here, which is of the bikes that are kind of lined up. Now, I don't know how many people are in this shot. I don't think that matters. But what we're going to be starting with is a new bike that is going to be arriving in this update. And it's the biggest bike that's in the frame. It's the one that's closest to us, technically. And that is the Zombie. So the Zombie was a bike from Grand Theft Auto 4, which is super cool. We can kind of tell based off of the dual headlights and a little bit of the shape and the body of the bike as well. So the Zombie is going to be making a return, which is something I predicted. I kind of assumed that many of the bikes from the Lost and the Damned DLC would be making its return. So we can tell that the Zombie is going to be added within this update, which is super cool. Let's kind of work our way from the bottom up. And if we do that, we've also got 3 new wheel options, which is super, super cool. So the first wheel option is on the Zombie that is closest to us. I'll try and zoom in as best as I can right now so you can see what it kind of looks like. This one is pretty cool. It's got some thin spokes on there, which I think looks really awesome. It's also got the kind of red color shading on the inside of the wheel as well. So that's pretty cool. The next new wheel, we can kind of see 2 bikes over, and I believe this is the exact same one that we looked at the other day that Rockstar had accidentally teased, or I guess shown off on purpose, I'm not sure what it would be called, on that image picture for the premium stunt race. So that is a new wheel. And also, this one's kind of hard to see because it's a couple bikes down, but you can see this is another style of wheel, which looks to have a couple more spokes in it. All of them have the same kind of red interior color. So I think those are going to be pretty cool. Those are 3 new wheel options that will be arriving in the biker update. It also looks as if we're going to have the option to choose our brake calipers or brake wheels, which can once again be seen in 3 distinct bike wheels right here. 2 of them are on the Zombie, and another one looks to be another modified version of the Demon. I will touch on that a little bit later, but you can see the black kind of brakes. Those seem to look like they could be modifiable as well, or at least we'll have the option to choose between a different one. So that's a pretty awesome feature that Rockstar looks to have added in this update. If we move on, we can see 2 different options for the bikes. The first of which is a livery for the Zombie, which is a new bike coming. You can see this is what it looks like right here. Now, it's kind of hard to make out what it is. It looks like it has some wings on it of sort. The wings both apply to the kind of fuel tank of the bike as well as just above the front wheel. So I'm sure you guys can notice both of those on the screen right now. And then there also looks to be a modifiable light for the Demon as well. So those are the 2 bikes in this shot, as I've been talking about. The Zombie, which is new, and then the Demon, which kind of suggests that the Demon is going to be able to be brought into this motorcycle mod shop, which is actually kind of cool. And we'll talk about that a little bit later as we get on to some of the text posts from the Newswire. But it looks like the new mod shop might not be restricted to just the new bikes, as we can see an alternative headlight here for the Demon. So that is actually pretty cool. Now, if we move on to the characters themselves, we can see a couple new additions, including what looks to be a new leather jacket, as can be seen by this character right here. We can also see a sleeveless denim style jacket, or kind of like a sleeveless jean jacket. So that's actually pretty cool. If we move on to some of the other bikers in the shot, I've noticed a couple things from them. One of them is a new accessory. It looks like a spiked wristband, as you can see on this biker right here. He's got that crazy black spike band, so that's actually pretty cool. I think this guy right here is rocking a new hairstyle and what looks to be a new set of sideburns too. Now, I can't 100% confirm that, but that actually does look pretty new. And then last but not least, we see this guy over here who is rocking the World War II style helmet and mask. So he's got a balaclava on, he's got this pretty cool styled helmet on, and it looks like that's a combo piece. So you would choose that together and you would be wearing both at the same time, or you could mix and match. I'm really not too sure yet, but those are some of the things that I noticed from this shot right here, which, like I said, was action-packed with a ton of details that you might not have known that is actually going to be coming in the biker update. Now, as I was editing this video, I did notice one more bike in this shot, and it's this purple one that's sticking out. Kind of, it's like 3 or 4 bikes back, and it looks to be different than all the other bikes in line. One of them is obviously the zombie, the other one's a demon, but that purple one seems to be different from the rest of the bunch, and I can't make out if this is a returning bike or if it's brand new. If you guys, of course, have any information on it, let me know in the comments down below. But I was editing the video and I was like, wait a minute, that purple bike looks really, really new. So I thought I would point that out before we move on to our next image. So let's move on to image number 2. And this one is pretty interesting. This looks to be located inside of our biker clubhouse, our motorcycle gang clubhouse, because Rockstar did mention that those were going to be coming into the game. Let's start with the obvious here and some of the things that I've obviously noticed first. And that is going to be our main character. I guess this is our biker member right here. So one of the first things I noticed was the new leather jacket that he was wearing. I'm guessing this is going to be one of the motorcycle club vests and jackets you can wear because it's got a pretty cool logo on the back. As you can see, it's that club with the skull and crossbones inside, which is pretty nice. It looks to also have new tattoos as well. On his right arm, that looks to be a new tattoo sleeve. On his left arm, looks to be another tattoo as well. Another thing that jumped out to me was the NPC that was hanging out right there. That guy with his arms crossed looks to be an NPC guard. I can't 100% confirm that, but he doesn't look like a character that is one of us or a part of the gang. It simply looks as if he's just guarding something, so I'm not exactly sure what he is guarding, but that's kind of what we're going to be talking about next. What are we walking into right now? Is this a meth lab? Is it a coke lab? Is it some sort of drugs? I would imagine that's what it is because all the biker theme in Grand Theft Auto and in the GTA series and Grand Theft Auto 4 and Grand Theft Auto 5 has all been kind of around drugs. So I would imagine that that's what we're going to be doing. We might be buying drugs from the CEOs and reselling it. We might be creating our own drugs and trying to sell it to other clients. I'm not entirely too sure how this is going to work, but then this is when things start to get really weird. I don't know if these are NPCs working in our warehouse, but something's going on here. They're all like in their bathing suit or their underwear. They're all wearing different sorts of head netting. There's like a purple one, a blue one, a green one. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. This is definitely the weirder of the screenshots, and it looks like they're doing something. In fact, one of the guys is like loading some sort of green container into an object or another bigger container. So again, this screenshot has definitely confused me. If you guys notice anything that I didn't, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below. And that applies for anything we've seen in these screenshots. If you see anything, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below as well. So that's about it for the screenshots. Let's turn our attention to the Newswire because there's a lot of things that Rockstar mentioned on there that, in my opinion, are very interesting. So the first of which is Rockstar talks about a motorcycle club for up to 8 players. So this is really cool because it's an upgrade from the current CEO and VIP system that we have right now. So right now we can only do 4 players in a VIP or a CEO mode. This is actually going to be 8, which is super cool. Now I know a lot of people might be disappointed because that's still not a lot, but it certainly is an upgrade. I remember doing the CEO stuff wishing, man, I wish I could have more than 3 associates here. So that is a nice upgrade. And what's pretty cool about this is it looks like the biker motorcycle clubs will have roles as well. Very similarly to the way they were in the Lost and the Damned. So you can be a president, confident, you could be a fresh prospect, and I really do like that because it seems like that will have an impact on the competitive and co-op gameplay that's going to be coming in this update. Now, Rockstar also said there's going to be, as they mentioned, new motorcycles, properties that include MC Clubhouses with a special custom biker mechanic. So that is actually pretty cool. Now, starting out with the new motorcycles, we obviously know the zombies coming, a modifiable version of what looks to be the demon is coming in this update, and the MC Clubhouses too sound pretty exciting. Now, one thing that Rockstar didn't mention on this Newswire is new cars. Now, it is a biker DLC, obviously, so you would expect the theme to be around bikes, but at the same rate, I didn't see any mention of cars or any new vehicles outside of bikes being added. Now, that isn't to say that Rockstar couldn't do so, and they could also add returning vehicles to the game like the Duke of Death. They could also add the Lost Slam Van amongst other vehicles, but it looks like the focus once again is going to be on bikes. And another thing I noticed about this update is so far, and from what we've seen, it looks as if the bikes featured are going to be primarily centered around the ones we saw in the Lost and the Damned and revolving around motorcycle gangs and clubs. So I thought that Rockstar might kind of broaden it out a little bit by providing more, cruiser bikes, chopper bikes, super bikes. Now, we've only gotten a very limited screenshot of what's been provided, but from what I've seen so far, that sort of looks to be the thing. And they also mentioned that special custom biker mechanic, which is super cool because now we've got the Los Santos custom shop, which is for like every sort of vehicle. We've got Benny's, which is for lowriders and the supercars. And now we're getting a biker mechanic shop. And I'm very excited to see the possibilities of what Rockstar could do for these bikes. So anything like new wheels, brake calipers, fenders, headlights, fuel tanks. I'm very excited to see the custom paint jobs and liveries that will be applied on there, different tires as well, handlebars, stuff like that for the bikes and all their upgrades. So once again, I am very, very excited about that because I think that bikes have been long overdue for some really epic customization in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, another thing that Rockstar really mentioned in this was the ability to climb the ranks within a gang and make lots of money. They state lucrative business opportunities, and there will be appropriate new modes for bikers of all kinds, which I think is pretty cool, as well as obviously new weapons, styles, tattoos, and features to make this a huge addition to the world of Grand Theft Auto Online. So I wonder what new weapons they're going to be adding. I'd love to see some ones from the Lost and the Damned return, like the pipe bomb. There was that grenade launcher that was extremely cool. So I'd love to see really cool biker style weapons like that. And I'm interested to see what features Rockstar is speaking of because those are always some of the most interesting ones. And really, last but not least today, Rockstar dropped a huge hint at not only what's coming at this biker update, but also for what looks to be another DLC. They state, and while loyal MCs will fight to expand their foothold alongside black-collar CEOs and organizations, there's always another opportunity to make your mark just around the corner. So I'm assuming they're talking about after the biker DLC here, just around the corner. That kind of makes sense to me. And they said, keep an eye out for high-level, high-risk, vehicle-based business ventures to spring up across Los Santos and Blaine County soon. So I don't know about you guys, but to me, this sort of sounds like another free mode event style DLC that maybe features around VIP jobs. I'm not entirely too sure. They say high-level, high-risk, vehicle-based ventures. So that's got to be something interesting. And does this have to do with anything about Rockstar making people want to get to level 135 recently? As you guys know, they offered that $1 million promotion if you reached rank 135. Maybe that kind of event after the biker DLC will require you to be rank 135. Again, I'm not entirely too sure here. That was a really weird tease by Rockstar, but I certainly think it's interesting because they dropped it in the Newswire. All right, and really the last thing I want to touch on with you guys today is the release date. That's probably the one thing that's got people confused because Rockstar did not announce a release date in this Newswire. They simply said that GTA Online Bikers will be coming soon. Now, the last time they did something like this is when they teased Finance and Felony and Cunning Stunts. They said that Finance and Felony and Cunning Stunts will be coming within the next weeks and months. And if you guys don't remember, Finance and Felony pretty much came out exactly 4 weeks after the first announcement. So again, I'm not saying that it's going to be the exact same thing right here, but I would maybe assume that 4 weeks would probably be an accurate timeline for when we could possibly see this update. Some people are saying it's going to be coming out tomorrow, which I don't think is true. Some people are saying next week, which of course sounds a little bit more likely, but I don't think they would have this little teaser and then just immediately drop the update. I feel like there's going to be some weeks in between, as they kind of mentioned at the end of the Newswire 2, saying like, you know, we're going to keep doing these online bonus weeks, so don't freak out when they keep happening. And last but not least, really the only thing that Rockstar didn't mention on this Newswire other than the release date was maybe a 6th garage. I'm not sure if they wanted us to imply that, but that was one of the rumored things talked about, and that wasn't touched on in the Newswire. But I imagine if they're going to be adding a new biker mechanic shop and new bikes in general, that we would get another garage, because at this point I'm totally out of space, and Rockstar ultimately have to know that probably many of the players that play their game are out of garage space also. So that's one more thing to consider. Just wanted to throw this in at the end because it also wasn't really touched on the Newswire at all. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. When do you think the release is going to happen of this biker update? And also let me know what you think about some of the other things we talked about in this video. Like I said, tell me everything that I didn't mention in the comment section down below. If you notice something new, let me know in the comment section. I'm very, very excited about this DLC. If you guys are excited or are hyped, be sure to drop a like rating on the video. That would be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.